Have you ever wondered why two intelligent people can witness the exact same event and walk away believing two completely different stories? Why one comment can stay in your mind for years, while hundreds of compliments quietly disappear? Why your first impression of someone can feel certain, long before you truly know them? The truth is, none of us were ever given an instruction manual for the most powerful thing we'll ever own: our own minds. We spend years learning mathematics, history, science, and language. Yet almost nobody teaches us how our thoughts are shaped, how our emotions influence our decisions, or why our minds sometimes convince us of things that aren't entirely true. The fascinating part isn't that your mind makes mistakes. It's that many of those mistakes are actually remarkable survival shortcuts. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 7 psychological principles that quietly influence your life every single day. And once you recognize them, you'll begin seeing yourself and the people around you in a completely different way. Let's begin. Your mind is one of the most extraordinary systems ever to exist. Every second, it processes more information than you could ever consciously notice. It predicts, filters, simplifies, connects memories, reads emotions, and helps you navigate a world that would otherwise feel overwhelming. Most of the time, it performs these remarkable tasks so effortlessly that you never even notice them. But some of the most powerful psychological principles shaping your life are also the ones nobody ever taught you, not because they're secret, but because they're happening quietly every single day. Today, we're going to uncover them together. Chapter 1: The Story. Your mind writes in the silence. Imagine sending a message to someone you care about. You put your phone down, expecting a reply within minutes, but nothing happens. 5 minutes pass, then 30, then an hour. Without realizing it, your mind quietly begins writing the story. Did I say something wrong? Are they upset with me? Are they ignoring me? The silence starts feeling louder than the conversation itself. Then, your phone finally lights up. Sorry, my phone died. And just like that, every frightening story disappears. The truth is, your brain has never been comfortable with missing information. When it doesn't have an answer, it often creates one. Not because it's trying to fool you, but because uncertainty has always been uncomfortable for the human mind. For thousands of years, waiting too long to understand a situation could mean missing danger. So your mind evolved to predict, fill in the blanks, and prepare for what might happen next. Most of the time, that ability helps you navigate an unpredictable world. But sometimes, the story your mind invents says far more about uncertainty than it does about reality. The next time silence begins telling you a story, pause before believing the first explanation your mind creates. Sometimes, the truth is far simpler than the one fear imagined. Chapter 2: The more familiar something feels, the more you trust it. Imagine hearing a strange claim for the very first time. It doesn't sound right, so you ignore it. A few days later, you hear someone else say the same thing. Then you see it again online. A week later, a friend casually repeats it in conversation. Nothing about the claim has changed. No new evidence, no new proof. And yet, it somehow feels more believable. Not because it became more accurate, but because it became more familiar. Your mind is constantly searching for shortcuts, and familiarity is one of its favorites. When something is repeated often enough, your brain begins processing it more effortlessly. That feeling of mental ease can quietly become mistaken for truth. It's one reason rumors spread, why advertising works, why misinformation can survive for years. Not because everyone carefully examined the evidence, but because repetition made the idea feel comfortable. The next time something sounds obviously true, ask yourself one simple question. Do I believe this because I've examined the evidence, or because I've simply heard it so many times? Sometimes, the most familiar story isn't the most accurate one. Chapter 3. Your expectations. Quietly change what you experience. Imagine meeting someone you've heard a lot about. Before they even say a word, your mind is already forming expectations. They're probably kind. They're probably difficult. They're probably brilliant. Then the conversation begins, and without realizing it, your mind starts paying closer attention to the moments that fit the story it was already expecting. Not because you're dishonest, not because you're careless, because expectations quietly become the lens through which you experience reality. Psychologists have found that what we expect can influence what we notice, what we remember, and even how we interpret the exact same situation. That's why two people can attend the same meeting, watch the same movie, or have the same conversation, and leave with completely different impressions. The world didn't change, their expectations did. Your expectations are powerful. They help you make sense of an incredibly complex world, but they can also prevent you from seeing what's actually there. The next time someone surprises you, or a situation doesn't unfold the way you expected, resist the urge to force reality to match your first impression. Instead, become curious. Sometimes the greatest discoveries begin the moment your expectations are proven wrong. Chapter 4. Your environment shapes more of your choices than you realize. Imagine walking into a room you've never seen before. One side is bright, organized, and peaceful. The other is noisy, cluttered, and distracting, without saying a single word. Both rooms begin influencing your behavior. You sit differently. You think differently. You even make different decisions. Most of us like to believe our choices come entirely from within. But psychology tells a more fascinating story. Your surroundings quietly guide your attention, your emotions, and even the habits you repeat every day. That's why a healthy snack placed on the kitchen counter is more likely to be eaten than one hidden away in a cupboard. It's why a book resting beside your bed gets opened more often than one forgotten on a shelf. And it's why changing your environment is sometimes easier than trying to change your willpower. Your environment isn't making every decision for you, but it's constantly suggesting the next one. The next time you're struggling to build a habit or break one, don't just ask, how can I become more disciplined? Ask instead, what around me is quietly shaping this choice? Sometimes changing your surroundings is the first step toward changing yourself. Chapter 5. Your emotions speak before your logic. Imagine opening your phone and reading a single sentence that instantly changes your mood. Your heart beats faster. Your breathing becomes shallow. Within seconds, your mind has already decided what the message means. Only later, after the emotion settles, do you stop and ask, is that really what they meant? Most of us believe we think first and feel second, but many of our everyday experiences unfold in the opposite direction. Your emotions often arrive before your reasoning has a chance to catch up. They're remarkably fast. They help you react to the world in an instant. Sometimes, that speed protects you. It helps you notice danger before you fully understood it. But in ordinary life, that same speed can lead to misunderstandings, A neutral expression can feel like rejection. A delayed reply can feel personal. A harmless mistake can feel like failure. The emotion is real, but the story it tells may not be complete. The next time a strong feeling rushes in, don't ignore it. Listen to it. Then ask one more question. What evidence do I have beyond what I'm feeling? Sometimes, a single pause is all it takes for clarity to catch up with emotion. Chapter 6. The people around you shape more than you realize. Imagine walking into a room where everyone is laughing. Without anyone speaking to you, you find yourself smiling. Now imagine walking into another room. It's silent. Everyone looks tense. Suddenly, you lower your voice. You move more carefully. You feel the atmosphere before anyone says a word. The people around us influence far more than our conversations. They quietly shape our emotions, our confidence, our habits, and even the way we see ourselves. This happens because human beings have always depended on one another for thousands of years. Paying attention to the people around us helped us belong, cooperate, and survive. That ability is still with us today. We naturally pick up emotional signals. We notice confidence. We sense fear. We adapt without even realizing it. That's why spending time with curious people often inspires curiosity, and why constant negativity can slowly become your own inner voice. The people around you won't decide your future, but they can quietly influence the direction you're walking. The next time you wonder why your mindset has changed, take a moment to look around. Sometimes, the strongest influence on your thinking is the company you keep. Chapter 7. The greatest skill they never taught you. Imagine pressing pause, not on a video, but on your own thoughts, just for a moment, before reacting, before judging, before assuming, before making a decision. That single pause can change everything. Throughout this journey, you've seen how your mind fills in missing information, how familiarity can feel like truth, how expectations shape experience, how your surroundings quietly influence your choices, how emotions often arrive before logic, and how the people around you leave invisible fingerprints on your thinking. None of these make your mind weak. They make it wonderfully human. The real power isn't having a perfect mind. No one does. The real power is noticing your thoughts before they quietly become your actions. Because awareness creates something remarkable, a choice. The choice to question, the choice to learn, the choice to grow. Your mind will always create shortcuts. It always has. It always will. But every time you become aware of one, you become a little less controlled by it and a little more in control of yourself. Perhaps the most important lesson psychology can ever teach us isn't how to change our minds, it's how to understand them. And that understanding may be the beginning of wisdom. So, what if the most important lessons you'll ever learn aren't about the world around you, but about the mind that's experiencing it? Every day, your mind works tirelessly behind the scenes. It predicts, it protects, it searches for patterns. It helps you make sense of a world that's far too complex to process every detail. Most of the time, those shortcuts serve you remarkably well, and sometimes they quietly shape your thoughts in ways you never noticed. But today, you noticed, and once you see these patterns, it's difficult to stop seeing them. The goal was never to build a perfect mind. The goal is to understand the one you already have. Because understanding creates awareness. Awareness creates better choices, and better choices quietly shape a better future. If one of these ideas changed the way you see yourself, I genuinely love to know which one. Share it in the comments. I read everyone. And if you're fascinated by psychology, human behavior, and the hidden patterns that shape everyday life, subscribe to Mind Over Instinct, because every great decision begins with understanding the mind that makes it. Until next time, stay curious.